everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at a casual Chuck episode. This one is episode 8 entitled Kindness. He just dropped this, so I'm assuming this is going to be different than his previous episodes because it's a continuation. And if this is your first time with me, hi, I have reviewed all of SB19's discography on the title track side. If there's a dance, I've looked at it, and it's been really enjoyable to get to celebrate the group while also celebrating different accomplishments for the YouTube and Patreon side over for myself. And Casual Chuck and I have been connected through, he's reviewed some of my reviews, and so he's been able to give me a lot of support. And so this is my way of wanting to extend the support back to him. Please go watch his video first before you watch my reaction to it or my overview of it, just so you can make sure we give support to the right people. I'm ready. I hope you guys are. Let's go.
I am too soft for these videos, guys. A wise man once said,
"We play in this world full of perspectives until you've seen the nooks and crannies and visited the corners and the sides. Always choose to be kind."
And I indeed see that SB19 is putting it into practice. Like what happened in Binibining Pilipinas 2022. Right after the performance of Bazinga and SLMT, Pablo seemed to have disappeared instantly.
Find out who will be this year's queens. The announcement when we return.
Bye, have a great time. Fans speculated that Pablo might have been sick or maybe just needed to go to the bathroom in a hurry. But we had no idea that Pablo exited because he was just naturally kind and humble and wanted to give the spotlight to the candidates.
Shut up, Chuck! You're glazing SB19 too much again!
Oh, don't worry, Chucky. I will prove you wrong. So when Pablo realized that he had exited prematurely, he immediately returned for the photo op and paid very close attention on him. He whispered something to the boys, and if you read his lips, this is what he might have said. It becomes even more apparent by how the boys reacted to it, as you can see how it unfolded in real time.
Do you see that girl with all those sashes? Wow.
This only proved that SB19 are not only kind, but also such gentlemen.
It's very considerate. That's cool. That's cool.
Speaking of sitting, you will notice in the last moments of PPOP Con 2023 that SB19 is the only group sitting on the floor. This tells me that they just want to take the opportunity to give the other groups the exposure they deserve.
It's cute.
They never fail to acknowledge them, as you can see in this emotional video, because they exactly know their struggle as a co-artist. Being co-artists also means they are competitors, so staying kind can become quite challenging.
Kasi hindi madaling maging hindi madaling maging
Mabuting tao
talaga. Especially sa mga challenges or like
ganda nun, men.
Hindi
Gusto ko yun. Naano nga ako eh. Naiyak ako.
mapapaisip ka ng
Kasi sikat kayo eh. Alam mo yun, nandyan lahat ng dahilan para maging masama.
All the reasons are there.
Talagang napaisip ako ngayon. Like kung naging mabuting tao ba ako sa ibang tao. And ayun, kung naging mabuting tao ba tayo?
Tingin ko naman.
Napakaraming taong mahanga sa atin.
Minsan kahit anahin mo eh,
sasagarin ka ng mga tao sa paligid mo.
Absolutely. That is so true. It's like there's a subconscious kindness where it's just so ingrained in your being you don't even realize you're actually being kind to somebody. And then there's intentional kindness, and sometimes you notice that you're trying to be kind. There is a difference between being kind and being tolerant, right? Like where sometimes it can come across like kindness, but it's really I'm tolerating you because you're pushing me to my limits, right? And I'm trying to be respectable, like respectful to you, and not tell you off. You know what I mean? Because you just keep doing this, and your ignorance of trying to understand is really showing right now, right? But, I think the mentality of kill 'em with kindness, if your neighbor hits you in one cheek, turn to the other, it's not showing, like, what is it? Just getting beat down. That's not the same as being kind, and you can choose to push back. But I also would say, which is a very interesting thing, that whenever you watch these types of topics or you listen in on these types of topics, they spark these types of ideas and thoughts of whenever you receive kindness or whenever you respond to somebody not kindly, what you're doing is essentially what they did to you, which you can control what you do. You can't control what they do. That's a reflection of their character, not yours. So all you can do is how you choose to conduct yourself. So choosing to go the higher road or choosing to be kind, especially in a world where it's really hard to be, really will fare better for you, not just relationally, but also for peace of mind. But it is still very hard because sometimes it actually isn't kindness, it's being tolerant. And I think that is okay to also, like, that's part of being professional, is, not getting walked over, but knowing that how you behave in a public eye, even and in privately, can reflect in many different ways. And so I see a lot of different sides of this. Right. Yep. Right. To be kind whenever they force you to do
Here's
that.
a clip of their kindness being put to the test. This is a live stream to promote SB19's Pagsibol EP, and one random viewer mistakenly identified them as a different boy group.
Sabi natin. Sabi nung isa, hi BGYO.
I want to meet all of you though.
May ka nga rito? Hi. Hindi, syempre trauma natin ng BGYO. Hello.
That's funny though. That's kind of funny.
Hello din sa mga fans ng BGYO.
That's kind of funny.
SB19 kung hindi niyo po kami kilala.
That's okay.
Pero syempre hindi siya nakaka-confuse eh.
That's true. That's being kind and benefit of the doubt. Absolutely.
Especially in moments when you have every opportunity to see some good scenery.
Side note. So with a situation like that, for me, I would probably say that probably how they felt with that is like, oh, they just got confused. That's definitely being kind. Now, what would happen if that same person continued to ignore what they're saying and just talk about their group? That can come across very disrespectful. And that's where things get really tested, is that it's really easy to display the benefit of the doubt. Unless you're dealing with circumstances where most of the time the benefit of the doubt is not true, and then you're conditioned and you create patterns in yourself to where you're like, every single time I've given the benefit of the doubt, I've been wrong. So you get calloused. I'm very thankful that SB19 hasn't really showcased any symptoms of being calloused in certain areas of extending kindness. And they're very clear and quick to give the benefit of the doubt by being kind through the circumstance, because Pablo, in the very beginning, those words it was beautifully said, because if you haven't been in somebody's shoes, if you haven't really looked into the nooks and crannies of who they are as a person, choose to be kind, aka it's not possible. Even for yourself, be kind to yourself too, because you haven't even gotten to the nooks and crannies of who you are, right? There's so many instances of my life that I don't even understand why I feel the way that I feel or why I respond to somebody the way that I do. So imagine, just assuming that you know everything about somebody. Regardless of how popular of an artist they are, you don't know them, right? You don't know the people down the street in ways enough to be ill will towards them, right? So I really appreciate him saying that because it's so true. And a lot of times people don't see that celebrities or artists are people. They will see them as somebody. There's a lot of people who see them as a product or a service to be fulfilled because they make you feel a certain way. Therefore, if they stop making you feel that way, they're no longer needed. That's a product mentality. There are many people who support groups with that mentality. There are also people who do see them as humans. And that is going to be more of a reflection of the group on what type of fan base they're going to have. And so far with SB19's, with Aiton, you guys have been very kind to me and been able to see me as a human as well, which has been I've been very appreciative of that. So I would say that's a reflection. There's a sense of genuinity behind their kindness and behind their, how they approach situations, and it's reflective in their fan base. I'm telling you.
But yet, SB19 just chooses to look the other way.
They're just being, I would call that being respectful, right? Of like, I'm not going to stare at their butt. That's, because that can work against them too. Like, I don't want to look at somebody's butt there while I'm doing something. So I do appreciate how considerate they are. Yeah. Love it.
Here's what G22 said about SB.
They're sobrang kuya nila. They give advices and they're so warm. You wouldn't feel like they are like one of the hottest groups right now.
Cute.
Well, that's probably because they also treat you like that.
Right.
Because you are also one of the hottest groups.
We know we're hot, but I'm just kidding.
That's funny. That's funny.
Very humble po talaga sila. Yeah. And yung mga advice nila, especially, I had one long conversation with Kuya Pablo and grabe na-twist yung brain ko. Like, parang, wow, enlightenment. I mean, the way he views everything, parang talagang he wants to support everyone. As in, oh my God, I aspire to be like him, like his mindset.
Yeah.
That gets really hard. And that's so fascinating too, because you meet a lot of people. The more popular you get, the more rooms you're in, the more people you're exposed to. And it's always really fascinating whenever you see people who have been doing a particular line of work for a long time and they're very good at it and they've been able to acquire certain discernment skills to be able to tell if somebody's full of crap or somebody genuinely cares and wants to learn. So what I'm feeling here is it's a reflection of them too, the fact that he's willing to have a conversation with her like that. It means that she has a willingness to learn, and she also doesn't have a stick up her butt either, right? There's a sense of when you're really, really popular, it's really hard to have people that surround you that are your no people, because a lot of times people want to be a yes person for somebody who's making a lot of money, who's really influential, because that means I'm cool too, or I get to reap the benefits of that by telling them, yes, everything you're doing is great, Heidi-ho and dandy. No one likes to hear that what they're doing is wrong, or that to be held accountable for something that they're walking a fine line that may not be the best approach, right? Or to correction. A lot of people are very afraid to be that for somebody's life, but you have to have people like that in your life because those are the people who care, right? So somebody who, it's a reflection of them, of the fact that she's willing to, listen and be a receiver, not just because it's Pablo, but because he has a really good mindset and she wants to reflect a lot of his characteristics in her own day-to-day. I find that to be a reflection of his character as well, the fact that he's very impressionable. I noticed that with him as well. Just like I would say Josh is also very impressionable to other members as well, based on how they all became a group, right? So I like the fact that he's very willing to have those conversations, and regardless of status, because I will say, some of the best conversations I've ever had with people who are in positions of major influence in respective industries, they saw me as a person. They didn't see me for my accolades. And by having somebody who has so much look at you as a person really helps you look at things from a different way. And sometimes you have to experience it to realize that. Because that's what happened to me on a couple of occasions. And that really helped me be able to look at people who do, who are of a certain status or a certain influence in a space. And when I have conversation with them, it helps me discern, are you wanting to get something from me? Are you wanting to do a transactional exchange? Or do you want to get to know me as a person? And so I think that Pablo has been able to really grow in that skill by being, in SB19 or being in his position. And so I find that really fascinating, this whole situation here. That's so cool.
What about with both of you?
Nakakatuwa lang po kasi very, very, very supportive sila sa isa't isa, and also very supportive sila sa whole P-pop community.
I love that.
Ever since.
They want everybody
Kaya
to succeed.
grabe talaga yung pag-look up and yung saludo ko sa kanila.
SB19 are so kind that every people they work with tends to shower
Love
them
it.
with appreciation.
Love it.
Yung mapa ng SB19, was it your personal choice to have that soundtrack?
Eh, alam ko yung mapa kasi paborito ko yung mapa. Bago pa siya ginamit dito, paborito ko na siya. Napag-uusapan na namin yung mapa sa Showtime. Na-discuss na nga namin. Yung una ko narinig yung mapa, nakakaiyak talaga siya. Mayroong isang live performance ng SB19 na kinanta nila yung nagbabagal. Na iyak ako ng iyak, tapos umiiyak din sila dun sa stage habang kinakanta. Sabi ko, napakaganda nun. Kaya nung binitch yun ni Chris Gasman, tapos narinig na din nilang lahat, walang tanong-tanong na bakit iyan ganyan. Ang tanong lang namin lagi ay yung
can we afford it?
Yeah. Pero pag yung SB19,
wow.
Magandang silang kausap. They are very generous.
Wow.
At happy sila, lalong-lalo na si Pablo na nagamit yung kanta na ginawa niya, yung mapa dito sa pelikula namin. Kasi dream niya pala yun na maging soundtrack yung isang kantang ginawa niya.
Wow.
Ang nakilalo ng ikinanda ng pelikula natin.
That's a good collaboration right there. Good connection.
And
That's
this is
great.
not only limited locally,
That's great.
but also internationally. Remember this epic performance in the Asian Artists Awards?
With
Here's what
Auntie.
N-Team had to say about SB19.
SB19 さんもマジでみんな優しくて、練習した時マジでめっちゃ雰囲気が良くて、なんだっけ、初めて会うんですけど、めっちゃでもすぐなんか仲良くなった気が、そういう風になって。
That's great.
一心同体みたいな。そうそう。
That's sweet. That's
If you
sweet.
ask me, the part where kindness really pops with SB19 is the way they interact with their young fans.
Oh, stop it! Children are here! Yes! Honestly, Pablo would be a really good dance teacher. Or a really good director. I mean, that's probably why he's in the position that he's in. That's really sweet. That's sweet. Because he's very observant and he's really good at delegating. Very good at finding things and filling them in. That's cool. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I love it, love it. Oh, she is dressed for success. Honestly, hanging out with kids is so fun. Because sometimes they ask really interesting questions, but also how they interact and how they storytell is really nice. Very, like, the childlike wonder being around that is really inspiring to me. And they're so impressionable, and so there's such a responsibility too when you interact with kids. So I really appreciate and I respect that. Oh, adorable, cute. Love it. Come on now. Also, too, it gives them the ability to, what is it? They don't have to turn on as much around you don't have to turn on in the same way in front of a child like you do in front of a fan. And that's not a bad thing. So when I'm talking about turning on is like, for example, whenever I am talking in front of the camera, I am myself, but there is a particular part of myself that I'm not involving in the process because that's not, what is it? It's just not practical for what this is, right? So there's certain probably times where if I'm, just in my car, I'm so different in terms of how I just exist in a space than whenever I'm here in front of a computer watching material with you guys. And both are okay and both are fine. So whenever I encounter somebody like in the wild, if they're like, "Are you Jess?" And I'm like, "I am." And we have a wonderful exchange. I'm turned on, but not in the way of I'm fake. It's I'm wanting to make sure that I'm being very clear and intentional that I really care and that I really want to be present. And so I intentionally take the time to be conscious of I want to be present here, right? And then it's just an extra icing on the cake whenever, it's somebody that actually, watches the journey like what we do here, right? But then, or like when somebody just wants to have a conversation with you and they want to be present, like you turn on, you want to engage there. And then in front of a child, I turn on in a different way where I have to be mindful of my words and how I talk about things, because some things are not appropriate for a child. That would be different than if you're talking to your best friend, right? And in the verbiage and, asking questions and being a listening ear and being present there, but looking different and you're being, present and engaged, right? So all that to say, very long-winded, when am I not, right? But I really appreciate the fact that, we get to see clips of this. So thank you, Chuck, for that. It's really nice to watch. But getting to see them, they get to turn off certain parts that they have to have on whenever they're on camera. I think is kind of my underlying point here. So that's really fun. That's funny. That's funny. You included that in this video.
One of those interactions even made it to the news.
That's sweet.
Ito ang nakakaantig na viral video ni SB19 Ken sa kanilang simula at wakas concert nitong weekend. Napatigil siya sa nabasa mula sa fans. Ang nakasulat sa note, pwede raw bang mag-drawing si Ken para sa kanyang batang fan na mayroong autism.
That's sweet.
Agad-agad namang kinuha ni Ken ang papel at nag-drawing.
I love it. He's like, I don't need to sing. It's fine. They can take care of it.
Tumigil pa siya sa pagguhit.
Oh, he's got to sing. He's got to do his job. And then he's going to go back and...
Sabay balik ulit
yep.
sa pagguhit. Ito ang drawing
Man with priorities.
Smiley face na may nakasulat na, You are loved.
You are loved.
And did I already say that these boys are such kind gentlemen?
Very gentlemanly. We love it. Love it, love it. Come on, with the assist? He wants to enjoy the sun with fans. Sweet. Oh, fun, fun, fun. Oh, that's very considerate. Wow. And I bet that made her day too. Cool. Sweet. Now, I wouldn't be able to handle that. I'm like, no. I mean, like, I'll cry, but like, no, I'm fine. Would be me. I would, but I appreciate. I think that's really sweet. Super sweet. And that's very genuine as well. Would I be able to handle that? Absolutely not. I'm really sensitive to touch anyway, so that's why I'm like, Oh, yeah, that performance was cool. Those shoes are ginormous. I need to study when people wear really big shoes like what Josh is wearing there, how they walk. Love the dancers. Come on now. Oh, is he posing?
Clip shows a random woman overseas asking Josh to take a picture, and he didn't even hesitate.
That's awesome. Come on, he got the squat. He is bent, he is leaned, he is ready. That's awesome.
This girl most likely doesn't even know Josh, and this only proves that SB19 are still normal people when put into normal situations. But I have some tea I want to share.
What kind of tea?
That one of the SB19 members actually prefer older women.
The tea is exceptionally good today.
Ate, gawan mo ko ng mainit na lola. Kasi gusto mo yung lola remedios pag mainit.
Yes.
Like hot water. So parang ngayon ko na-realize, ang weird pala niya sabihin.
It sounds weird to say.
For the context, isa po siyang inumin. Isa po siyang inumin at malaking tulong po siya for me before the shows. Pero po wala pong iba ang tingin sa akin ngayon. I love hot lola.
I love hot grandma. So it's a drink concoction.
What he actually meant was SB19 are also as gentle to their seasoned fans.
The seasoned fans. Oh yeah! I'm gonna tell you what, hanging out with a grandma is so, it hits, man. When you're like, what's up, Mima? They're like, oh, I'm doing good. I'm like, good to see you, girl. There's just such a different, you turn on for the grandmas and the grandpas in a different way than for a child, but there's like a certain, this is where Southern charm comes in, right? Where you, and it doesn't work with like parents, it works with the grandparents. It skips a generation, right? And it's Southern charm where when like the grandma's like, so where are you from, honey? I'm like, I'm from so-and-so. How are you today? And you got to have this, it's the tone and the inflection. You heard, I do have a real country accent because I am from the South of the U.S. And that is something, a country accent's real here. I intentionally stuff it down so you guys can understand what I'm saying. But whenever I'm talking to a Meemaw down the street, this will come out because this is comfortable in how you enunciate and how you talk about certain isms like the wordplay, talking about bless her heart, how your chickens do and how's Lucille. Like there's a certain charm and homeliness to it, especially where I am, that it resonates. Is that me being fake? Absolutely not, because I genuinely, that's my version of being present to who I'm talking to. I'm calibrated to who I'm talking to and being considerate of them. That's what it is for me. But I would love to hear from you. Do you do that too where you are? Like talking a country accent like I do? I don't know, but the grandmas are everything. We love them. We love them all. Oh yeah. Getting the grandparents to dance on the dance floor is one of my favorite things to do. Cause it feels similar. Oh, that's cute. It feels similar like gosh, that's cute. To children, right? But children are like, they're so full of energy, but the grandmas are like, I'm a bounce right here. I'm gonna say I'm a bounce with you. They're so fun. You know what I mean? Oh, they're cute. You see, I got excited. I love it. Love it.
Shout out to all seasoned fans out there. You guys have an unfair advantage over us.
Absolutely.
So what have we learned from this video? For me, I realized that no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Throughout SB19's ups and downs, they have always chosen to be kind. And because of that, little by little, they won the favor of every person who found them. It's crazy to think that there was once a time when only 10 people were behind them. But because of their kindness, they now have the whole country behind them.
Gusto ko ipakita sa kanila kung ano talaga meron. Anong meron tayo.
Syempre, lang tayo ang dala-dala natin. Pambuong Pilipinas. Happy birthday!
That's cute. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, so that makes sense because Chuck had said this is a 7th anniversary special, so they've been around for 7 years. I have a question that I feel like you guys would be able to answer for me way better than for myself. What are the contracts like in the Philippines in PPOP compared to Korea? Because Korea, I know can only go up to 7 years. So I'm curious about what's the length in which a contract can exist in the Philippines specifically. I feel like I could Google search this, but I'd rather hear from y'all because I feel like you guys would prepare or give me really good context specifically about SB19, how long, because with 7 years, it's great. I know they're in charge of their own agency now, so it's a little different. I just want to hear those logistics. I feel like you guys have a way better understanding on it than myself, and even for how I can Google about it. And so I'm here for a good time. Thank you, Chuck, for making this. And side note, guys, if Chuck's like, hey, Jess, can you take this down? I'm not comfortable with it, which he's been pretty chill. I will take it down out of respect for Chuck, but I really didn't have anything constructive. I thought this was all great. I mean, he does a really good job on clips and things like that. And like I said, go support this video that I'm watching. I'll attach it in the description. If I was your first watch, please go watch it for yourself just to support him, because it's really cool that he takes the time to do this. And also, he's kind of, I wonder, is it SB19's kindness rubbing off on him, or if this is just the kind of person he is. But the fact that he's, very receptive to wanting to listen to people that are within his live streams, to where I was discovered in that way to a certain degree, which was really cool. And I'm very humbled by that. And I don't take that lightly, and which is why I want to maintain my support and continue to be supportive of the SB19 side of things, because you guys have been really considerate to me, and I like their music genuinely, and I really like their growth and how they treat people. So I love getting behind that. I'm Jess, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.